Sir John A. Macdonald, a father of Confederation, the first Prime Minister of this country we call the Dominion of Canada, a legend of Canadian history, but not worthy to be memorialized in a statue out front of the City Hall of Victoria, British Columbia. City Council in Victoria is set to remove a statue of Sir John A., who, by the way, served as a member of Parliament for Victoria for at least a term, because they don't want to remind Indigenous people of the violence of colonialism. This is, in their justification, a step towards reconciliation. By reminding people of colonialism, you're endorsing it, and by putting up a figure of colonialism, well, you're just basically inflicting violence upon Aboriginals. This is the slippery slope through which these politically correct ninnies are trying to govern people. It's not a new phenomenon. We had in Ontario, the Elementary Teachers Federation try to ban any school name from having John A. Macdonald in the title. Thankfully, that didn't go anywhere in terms of actual policy. You also have statues all over the United States of Confederate figures, regardless of the history and the context of that history, coming down because we try to view history through this politically correct modern lens. With John A. Macdonald, this is very misguided. He's a figure that if you look at him in the context of his time, he was actually a very progressive, tolerant, and definitively non-racist person. By 2018 standards, things have changed. It's not as easy to compare people then to the people we have now. And that shouldn't be the goal of history. We can celebrate the positives and the goodness, the formation of this country, while also understanding the imperfection of historic figures. That doesn't mean we need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Why not Tommy Douglas? He's a figure a lot more recently who promoted at one point in his life eugenics, also called homosexuality a mental illness. Heck, he was even honored as being the greatest Canadian by CBC, above John A. Macdonald. You have these other figures that if you look at the gestalt of their lives, there might be some negatives, but there is a lot more that is positive. Certainly John A. Macdonald is in that category, Wilfrid Laurier as well, and a great many of these fathers of Confederation who under the guise of reconciliation were to view as evil and not welcome in the Canadian discussion now. And by the way, it's a little bit hypocritical. This is coming from the city of Victoria. Victoria, BC, the city named after Queen Victoria, the monarch at the time John A. Macdonald was the Prime Minister. I don't see City Council lining up to change the name of the city, which is proving that this is all window dressing. And if it comes to choosing between the eradication of history or the eradication of the political correctness that is eradicating history, I would choose to eradicate the political correctness. Those who fail to learn history are doomed to repeat it, right? Well, I would take it one step further. Those who try to erase history are mindless, politically correct morons. For the True North Initiative, I'm Andrew Lutton.